All right, this is Chris Rubio of RubioLongSnapping.com. I'm doing a player interview with current Oregon Duck long snapper Tanner Carew. Tanner, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
Nothing much, just another day at the facility,
How,
just working.
how's Eugene, Oregon right now? Fantastic.
Eugene, Oregon is beautiful, actually.
Now
You'd be
you're
surprised. It's
you're
beautiful.
originally from Southern California. What's the main difference between Southern California to Eugene, Oregon?
Much more rain.
Yeah,
Rain.
that's the obvious. What else? Is there anything else?
No, that's for that and allergies. It's the only two things.
You have more allergies now?
This is the highest pollen count in the world in
Oh,
Eugene, Oregon.
that is
So
good to
everyone has
know.
allergies.
Okay, which one do you like better and why?
I like back home just because the people, miss my friends, more the people, but I don't know, I've grown to love it here. So it's
Okay.
really hard because,
So
it's a
if
big
you,
part of your life.
so if your friends were in Eugene,
That'd be a tough spot.
there
I
you
don't know.
go.
I do miss the beach though, so that's something you'll always
I hear
miss.
you. I hear you. What's the best food in Eugene, Oregon?
Killer burger.
Killer
Killer
burger.
burger by far.
Okay, so you were my number one for the class of 2014. You got scholarships to several schools. You ended up choosing Oregon. I remember the day it happened. It was a great, great day. I always tell the story when you were at the camp and everyone was kind of watching you slash not watching you because you were the best in that class. You were doing very well, very well, very well, and then you launched one. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like 45 yards, would have been perfect for Shaq. It was great, probably about a 6'4". And you kind of looked around. I said, "Don't worry, you'll be fine. Just snap it again." And every coach came right next to you. I remember that. There was like 10 of them. And they all went right there. And you snapped an absolute pearl. About 45 minutes, you got offered a scholarship. What was going through your mind after you launched that one?
Mainly just neck snap after you said I was fine, but I don't know. I'm one of those people that's really like I analyze a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but just more to be critical on myself. But I don't know. I just because I knew I can do it. That wasn't another, that wasn't something I was worried about. But
Yeah, it's
I
just a
knew I
matter
could
of
do it.
getting
Yeah,
back
doing
on
it
the
again.
horse. Just a matter of getting back on the horse and trusting your form. When you're working on your craft being long snapping, what would you say your percentage is to working on your technique to just snapping? Because I'm always, you know me, I'm a big proponent of, hey, work on your form, work on your technique, don't over snap. What would you say?
I would say what I do mainly is like I pretty much have like a set dialed like warm up I do as far as like shorter snaps. Start at 10 yards, work my way back to whatever we go at, and then I throw some PATs in there, and then I start doing my drills, and then after the drills is when I go straight into punt period.
Okay.
I don't like to go really full snap and then go into punt period, because then you're just ready right after you do the drills when going into punt period.
Got it. So you definitely have a routine, and your routine, I'm
Yeah.
assuming, is different than probably everyone else's.
Yes. Of
Okay.
course.
I
Yeah.
want to clarify that because I know everyone's going to ask, what's his routine? I want to copy his routine, and the routine is different for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and how often are you working on your technique off season, not during season?
Off
Because during
season,
season, I know it's pretty much every day.
yeah. Off season, I would say because there's days, you're in the weight room and you're just killing yourself and you don't want to go out and snap after you lift. So I always try to make an effort if I lift in the morning, I try to go later at night to, get some time to recover or snap before I lift. So I snapped, I would say 4 days a week solid, 4 days a
Okay,
week
so
in the
you
off
like
season.
if you're working out in the morning, you've got class in the afternoon, things like that. You will go late at night just to make sure you get your workout in. Because I know a
Yeah,
lot of times kids and parents will complain that there's not enough time in the day, but you're dealing with 24 hours and you can find the time, right?
100%.
All right, that's what I want to hear. Now, if anyone hasn't seen you in quite some time, they're going to look and go, "That is not Tanner Carew," because you look like a woolly bear, and you look about 235, 240. What do you weigh right now?
I weigh 242,
242. Okay, now when you left high school, what did you weigh?
185, 190.
185, 190. So you've gained quite a bit of weight. Okay,
Yeah.
and it looks like good weight. So how have you done it? Give us the tricks.
So when I was always on one high school like, man, I can't gain weight. Man, I can't gain weight. First year here, like, man, I can't gain weight. And then we got a new nutritionist here who helped me a lot, and he showed me it's not it's not hard to gain weight. It's hard to stay disciplined for a period of time. It's not hard at all, but finding what works for you and what you should be doing over a period of time. Like
Okay, such as.
I started out with a 5 meal a day and then a 5 meal a day program. Then I went to six. So that's kind of what I've had to stay at. Go to six, and two of those meals are kind of smaller meals, kind of a snack, like
Hmm.
little things. But then the other meals are basically a full meal. But it like
So
a full
what
meal.
time is your first meal?
Before workout, like when I get here in the morning, about 6:30, it's just a breakfast. It's a 5 eggs with bacon in it with cheese, and then a cup of fruit, a smoothie, milk, 2 glasses of milk, and toast.
And what time is your last meal?
My last meal I eat because we have a team meal at 7, so you got to eat 3 hours later, so it's at 10. And then at 10 o'clock, and then I'll be hanging out watching TV, and then right before I go to bed, you have to down a 1,200 calorie protein shake.
Good Lord, that's dedication, but that's what it takes to be, as you
Yeah.
are, one of the top college long snappers and working your way to the NFL hopefully next year, correct?
Yep.
Fantastic. What's the most pressure snap you've had?
That's a tough one because, the Rose Bowl, there's a lot of those in there, but we wound up, doing really good against Florida State. The national championship, there's a few in there. Those put a lot of pressure on me because I was playing hurt, so
Hmm.
that built some pressure. But I would have to say sophomore year against ASU or sophomore year against Stanford went with basically game-winning field goals. There was 3 minutes left in the game, and it was to take the lead in Stanford, and we did. And then so that was sophomore year, and then sophomore year against ASU, it was an overtime extra point, and it was to tie it to go into triple overtime. So that was a pressure one too. But those
Okay,
were
now when
tough.
you're under all this pressure, how do you handle it? What do you tell yourself? Kids want to know. This is going to go out. All the young Rubio long snappers. What? How do you calm yourself?
I think of the basics. I don't try to tell myself. A lot of people say, like, whenever I talk to other guys that do it, I actually had a conversation with Mitchell, the ASU snapper, the other day when he hit the game winner against us the other week. He said he wasn't nervous at all, but I always try to not think about it. But I would say just I try to think follow through. I try
Yeah,
to think fingers out, just like something basic, then I do it, and when I think of something basic and I focus on it, and then when I nail that basic thing and the snap's perfect, that's kind of how I think of it.
yeah, and that honestly following through is a great one because a lot of guys they get so nervous they end up short arming it,
Short arming,
and that
yeah.
that becomes a very big issue. When you
Actually,
get
another pressure snap was probably Stanford. It was a punt, backed up with 1 minute left.
oh,
Yeah, backed up, and they brought the house. So that was probably, actually, now I think about it, that was my most pressure snap.
all right, so you're going to have a ton of Rubio long snappers watching this. Can you give them some advice? What does Tanner Carew want to tell these young kids right now?
I would say just keep working and don't ever like take a day off. Like my thing was like my thing was I tried to stay regimented. Even in high school, like I worked out like nonstop because I kind of always felt like the guy I was competing with was working when I wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
but it wound up me working all the time. So I would just say stay regimented, stay like really like on your schedule.
I got you. And create a schedule that works for you.
Yeah, it does.
All right, Tanner.
Staying in
Once
line.
again, we've got Tanner Carew of the Oregon Ducks. He's going into his senior year, 4 year starters, done an excellent job. One of the top college long snappers in the country. He was the #1 Rubio long snapper of the class of 2014. If you'd like any more information, please check out rubiolongsnapping.com. Hey, Tanner, thanks for everything, bud.
No problem.
Good luck, man.
Appreciate it.